And we are live on Sports Today. And thank you everyone for joining us in what has been once again a hectic Saturday. I think जो ये BCCI है उसने कसम खाई है कि the day we take a off day, they will come up with some big news or the other. However, in this case, we were well aware and got to know about 2-3 hours before that the team will be announced, so we could be prepared. And then joining you remotely from different positions. Um, we're not at work, but work carries on. So Rahul Rawat actually went to play his amateur sixth division
Gully cricket.
gully cricket match.
15th edition of Manav Rachna University Cricket Challenge.
Did you get any runs or get any wickets? Anything you did noteworthy, or did you
We
take the
missed you
Sports
actually.
Today
We
name?
missed you there. We missed you there because we unfortunately lost that match. Maybe
Oh
had you
God.
been there, things would have been different.
No,
But
no, no.
I think the
I have
opposition.
reached the Cheteshwar Pujara Ajinkya Rahane stage where I have been told that go back into Ranji Trophy and work on your game and
No,
then come
Ranji
back.
Trophy is far better than the
No,
standard of
our level Ranji
cricket that
Trophy.
we
I
play.
meant our level Ranji Trophy, like that.
No, but and see, I understand that you've picked these names, uh,
For a reason.
Cheteshwar Pujara and Ajinkya Rahane. Don't forget, there's one more name
Two
who
more.
hasn't announced his retirement so far.
Two more names. Ishant Sharma, Riddhiman Saha.
Yes, yes, yes,
Two names. Two names.
absolutely. So
So what
big
is the
news
biggest
today,
news? The big news is Rohit Sharma is Test captain. That's the biggest headline
officially,
that we have.
officially.
Officially the test. Yeah. You're see again. We don't have to pat ourselves on the back, but on Sports Today we have
Hmm.
been saying it from day one that Rohit Sharma is going to be our next Test captain. I know there were reports that came from a few other organizations that KL Rahul will be the preferred choice, and because KL is not fit, he will not be given that duty now, and Rohit Sharma will be temporarily given that duty. Even those doubts have been laid to rest because Chetan Sharma, the chairman of selector, made it very clear that Rohit is your permanent test captain till such time that he is fit and ready to play. For the moment he is fit, he says he cannot see into the future. If he's not fit and available, then they'll see what to do. Also, the other thing he said, you don't give anyone captaincy for posterity, like for a long term. Also, form is
Hmm.
another thing, right? Right now he is the best batsman and or the best person available, but maybe a year down the line, 2 year, you may have to look at someone else. So he's not committed on that front. But what he's made very clear is that it's not a compromise situation now that KL is not playing, so
Right.
you've gone with Rohit. Rohit is their first choice Test captain, and they hope that he will be long-term Test captain and that he remains fit. On that subject, Rahul, I want to ask you one thing, which is very, very interesting that I picked up. I don't know if you heard that in the press conference. If you did, what did you make of Chetan Sharma saying that Rohit is the
Rohit
number one
is the
cricketer in India?
number one. Yes, even I spotted that. In fact, I also noticed that he said that Rohit Sharma is the number one batsman in this country. That's the
Mm.
exact sentence that he used, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. What did
Well,
you make of that? What do you make of that? Is that a message he's sending to someone?
see, Nikhil, if you ask me, I think in this generation, Virat
Mm.
Kohli perhaps is the number one cricketer that India has seen. But
I
as of
agree.
now, if you ask
I,
me today, Rohit
uh,
Sharma is your best batsman at the moment. That's it.
yeah, so I agree with you. On form, Rohit Sharma is the best batsman. But in this
Yes,
generation, I think Virat Kohli is the number one Indian cricketer because when you say generation, you have
absolutely.
to pick up all formats. And I think Virat has done exceedingly well in all formats. However, do you think, now again, I go back to that question. However, do you think that this answer by Chetan Sharma was, sometime he didn't mean what really came out of his thing? Generally saying, when you're praising someone as captain, you say, no, no, he's the number one guy, so we have made him. Did he say it like that? Or did he really mean saying number one cricketer, which was a message? Because we know that things are not, and again, I have no qualms in saying it, that things are not, the relationship is not the best that was shared between Virat Kohli and Chetan Sharma. And it may have even gotten worse after that press conference that Chetan Sharma addressed, where he openly spoke the truth according to him, that what had happened in that meeting, that also may not have gone down well with Virat Kohli, because you literally, it was his word against Saurav Ganguly, and Chetan Sharma said one thing. Do you think it is that Chetan Sharma had in mind and said it, or do you think no, it was a very casual statement? He meant to say Rohit is the best choice for Test captain, and he said it like that.
It was a casual statement. It was a casual statement where he wasn't asked, but he did mention. But I think it was a casual statement. And if you would have asked anybody, I think when you asked me, did you notice the sentence that he used? Rohit Sharma being the number one batsman in this country. Uh, I think even if you ask him also, or anybody, everybody would say in this generation, Virat Kohli is the number one cricketer that India has seen, and Rohit Sharma at this point in time is the number one batsman in this country across formats. And there's no shame in admitting. But Nikhil, if you can just give the highlights of what all has
Yeah,
happened, what all was
yeah.
announced today. Rohit Sharma officially named captain. Four stalwarts, four big names: Rahane Pujara, Ishant Sharma, Saha dropped. The T20 series for the against Sri Lanka was also announced. Then the test series, also the squad for the test series also was announced. Remember, Virat Kohli and Rishabh Pant have been rested. They've been given bubble break, so they won't be playing the third T20 international against West Indies, and would be rested for the three T20 series against Sri Lanka. Then any other important announcement?
Yeah, the young left arm spinner that they've got from UP,
Saurabh,
that is
Saurabh
Saurabh.
Kumar.
Yeah, Saurabh Kumar. He was with the Indian team. That's the other bit which is interesting. Sanju Samsung has come back into the T20 team because
As a
Rishabh
backup
Pant
wicket
has
keeper.
been. Yeah, because Rishabh Pant has been rested. Ishan Kishan is there, so you obviously need a backup wicket keeper. So he has come back into the team. Jasprit Bumrah has once again returned, so he's been named vice captain. So yeah, these are just few other things that I noticed in terms of how the team is progressing. Washington Sundar is still not fit, so will not be available. KL Rahul still not fit, so still not available on that front. So
And
yeah, that
and I
was.
believe so is Akshar Patel.
Yes, Akshar also still not fit. Oh, the other big news,
Okay.
Ravindra Jadeja. I don't know if you mentioned him. He's
Yes.
back. Ravindra
Yes.
Jadeja
I'm
is back.
sorry. Yeah, I didn't mention.
Yeah,
We didn't mention.
yeah.
So,
Mm.
just for the benefit of our viewers, I'll just read out the squads for both the T20 series and the Test series, because
Yes.
now we have a substantial number of people who are watching us live at the moment. Rohit Sharma, of course, this is first the T20 series, which begins on 24th of this month. So, Rohit Sharma is your captain. Ruturaj Gaikwad retains his place. Ishan Kishan is the first choice wicketkeeper that has been made clear by the chairman of the selection committee, Mr. Chetan Sharma. Then comes Surya Kumar Yadav, Shreyas Iyer, Venkatesh Iyer, Deepak Hooda. Jasprit Bumrah also returns to the squad as vice captain this time. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Deepak Chahar, Harshal Patel, Mohammad Siraj, Sanju Samson, the backup wicket keeper, since Rishabh Pant is not available, or we can say that he's been rested. Ravindra Jadeja, as Nikhil mentioned, makes a comeback after a lengthy layoff because of an injury. Yuzi Chahal, Ravi Vishnoi, Kuldeep Yadav. Kuldeep Yadav, in fact, has now been included officially in the squad. Remember, the last time he made it to the T20 squad, it was only and only because Washington Sundar got injured, and he was the first
Yeah.
choice spinner in that, or the second choice alongside Yuzi Chahal. And then the last name is Avesh Khan. So this is the T20 squad uh, for India that was announced just a few moments later. And then the Test series, the big one. Of course, Virat will play if he's been named in the squad. So he will play the Mohali Test, which will in fact be his 100th Test match. Rohit Sharma officially announced, declared as Team India's Test captain. Also, Mayank Agarwal, Priyank Panchal also comes into the team. Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, Hanuma Vihari, Shubman Gill, Nikhil, Shubman Gill finally.
Yes.
Rishabh Pant, KS Bharat, Ravi Ashwin, subject to his fitness. Ravindra Jadeja, Jayant Yadav, Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah is the vice captain. Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, Umesh Yadav, and Saurabh Kumar, the one that Nikhil just mentioned, the left arm spinner that not a lot of people would know about.
Okay, so those were the highlights. I'm just going to take a few comments. Super chats came our way. So Srijesh Nair said, Rahul, that he sends you a lot of messages on Instagram. You never reply, but he loves our job on Sports Today. Thank you so much, Srijesh. Palash
Arey,
Swami
so sorry,
says,
yaar.
nice to see Kuldeep Yadav back in the test squad. Palash says, that's true, actually. Kuldeep coming back into the test team. I think you asked the question to Chetan Sharma about Kuldeep.
Yes,
You can tell
because
our
there were
viewers, what did he say?
no further questions, because everybody had asked the questions that I wanted to. So I had raised my hand. So I had. No,
Yeah.
basically, he said that he offers variety, and he also made it very clear that now that Kuldeep Yadav is in the squad, is in the team, he'll be given a fair and long run. That is going to be the formula. That is going to be the template going forward. Not just for Kuldeep Yadav, but for everybody. He's saying that he's a wrist spinner, offers variety, is a wicket taking option. That's it.
Okay, just taking a few more comments. Will we see your dugout at night? Vansh says, Vansh, we may have a dugout not at night, but soon after.
Earlier than
We're
that.
still trying to figure. And in dugout today, we will feature Sunny Gavaskar. So hopefully we could do the dugout at 5 or 5:15, maybe possible. And Sunny Gavaskar will feature in that. So stay tuned. I'll put the update very soon. So come live for that, and we'll try and ask him all the questions related to the team. Nadeem Arshad joins us from Pakistan. Says, hello, you guys are doing a fabulous job. I always watch
Thank you,
Sports
Nadeem.
Today. Um, do you think Rishabh Pant, Austin is saying Rishabh Pant should have been vice captain in Test, grooming a future Test captain? Austin, I'll just answer that question. What Chetan Sharma, the chairman of selectors, said about vice captains, he said you must have seen different vice captains like KL Rahul, like Rishabh Pant, like Jasprit Bumrah. And he said the reason for having different vice captains is because we want all these young guys to be trained under Rohit Sharma. So Rohit Sharma, of course, as you know,
Yes.
may have another 2-3 good years ahead of him, and after that India would have to look at another captain. So on that front they are giving chance to a lot of guys so that they can be groomed under Rohit Sharma. But Rohit, he reiterated, remains their number one choice to be captain across all format. Yeah, sorry Rahul, you wanted to say something.
Nikhil, just wanted to discuss and ask you, because there's a question also, big boy. If they drop players, I'm sure he's talking about the senior players. If they do well in domestic, will they come back? So now I also wanted to ask. Of course, if you ask somebody who's in an official position like the chairman of selection committee, that have they been dropped, or is it the end of the road for all four of them? Of course, he was asked specifically about Pujara and Rahane. And he said, let them play in the domestic cricket if they do well. But do you think it is actually the end of the road for Rahane, Pujara, Ishant, and Riddhiman Saha?
Yeah, good question, because a lot of people asked also, Rahul, is it the end of the road? Again, I would be very careful before saying end of the road, because you know that it's very, very tough to predict what happens in the future, especially with players like Rahane and Pujara. You know that you give someone a chance, they don't do well, you tend to go back. And I remember so many players, that was spoken that it's the end, and like, Virender Sehwags of the world, and I can recall a lot of other players, but they came back strongly as well. So I will not say end of the road. However, what I will add to this is that if they make a comeback, it's not going to be on the basis of domestic performances. I know the chairman of selectors said that domestic cricket is important. Go back into Ranji Trophy. If domestic cricket was so important, Ajinkya Rahane has scored 100 against defending Ranji Trophy champions. So the best opposition, he's got 100. So you should have then changed your mind and said, no, 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 he's back into form. You didn't do it because heart of heart. See, you cannot deride Ranji Trophy, and no one will say it openly, saying, oh, it's not a competition that we carefully looking at. And selectors will say, go back into Ranji Trophy. They will say that. However, is that Ranji Trophy form a sign that a player is in form or out of form? For example, Cheteshwar Pujara didn't get too many runs. Is he like not good batsman anymore? Or Rahane got so many runs? Is he a guy in form? I don't think so. So I think they will not come back into the team based on Ranji Trophy performances. I think they'll come back into team if the guys that are given the chance fail to capitalize on those opportunities, and then selectors might say, let's go back to that, tried and tested Cheteshwar Pujara at number 3, something like that. That might happen.
Now, two things. One, majority of your cricket in the next couple of years will be played at home. So that
Yes.
makes their comeback a little too difficult, maybe. Rahane and
Yes.
Pujara.
Yes. Absolutely. Uh, as Ravi Shastri said, when you were talking to him, 9-10 Jack, easy cricket is going to happen. You're going to be playing at home. And I think it is going to be very tough for these guys to come back on two counts. One, because the guys who will get an opportunity will have the best conditions, not the best opposition, to get runs. And secondly, whoever you give a chance, again, you're not going to have that attitude. Na, okay, ek series khilate hain. You are going to give them chance for 2 or 3 series going forward. That might itself take
Mm-hmm.
1 year. So yeah, on that front, I'm saying it may be tough for them to come back, but I say never. Cricket is a funny game, like I may say
No,
something now, someone will archive that clip, and then when Pujara or Rahane come
slap
back,
on your face.
no, and yeah, and they'll become man of the
No,
series. I
that
don't
will be the
know.
comment. That will be the comment.
I know, I know,
But
I know what you're saying. Slap on your face.
Nikhil, will there be a temptation to play one of these batsmen in England, considering you have a test match there?
I thought about it, Rahul, but I think again you shouldn't do that. See, now what are you going to do? Let's say you're giving an ex-player a chance. Let's again hypothetically, Shreyas Iyer is that guy because he did well in the test opportunities I got, but then couldn't fit into the team because you went with the experienced guys. Now let's say you play him in a few test matches that happened before you go to England, right? And assume he doesn't do well. Now, two ways of looking at it. Will you now drop him or not play him as a regular because of those minor failures? Even if he does well, you're not going to do, oh, so he is my good player only for India, and then when I have to go abroad, I have to take Pujara or Hane. No, if you want to test a player, you might as well test him in England also. Make that player, whoever is that young guy you're going to be testing, make him play in
Mm-hmm.
England, and then let's see how good he is. And I think a Rahane or a Pujara also might want that. They may be like, okay, if you've given him a chance he's my replacement. You've given him a chance in Indian conditions. Let him also go in England and play, and let's see how well he does. Shobham Sai, who's a regular watcher, Rahul had a point to that Rohit Sharma, because we were saying, is it end of the road for Pujara and Pujara and Rahane. So
Pujare.
he says, I was going to
Purane,
say,
you've
yeah,
you've
I was going
coined a
to say,
new
but
word.
then no, I was going to say, but then I changed my mind. I don't like that word, Purane.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely, and I agree
uh,
with you.
so Sobham Sai, actually now his super chat is gone. But he was saying
No, I have
about,
that. I have that.
please
You
say it.
want me
Yeah,
to read that out?
yeah, please,
So,
please, please.
Soban Sai says Rohit himself is an example from being a terrible test player to captain of the team. We may see Rahane and Pujara back.
Infectious. You've also got
Yes,
it.
yes.
But yeah, Dipesh is also pointing out. See, again, I think one guy that the Indian team was very unfair with was your Hanuma Vihari, because you would just play him some matches. Even if he did well, you would drop him, then forget him for a series. At least this way, he brings you that experience, and he will also get a fair run. I don't know. That's how I see it. I don't know how you look at it.
True. So more than 1,000 people are with us right now on Sports
Our
Today,
family
Nikhil,
members.
and I would
Yeah.
tell, and I'll tell you, still they are, of course, they are our family members, but still majority of them have still not subscribed to Sports Today.
That
That's
is
not.
absolutely
So
shocking.
you may please request them to also subscribe to Sports Today, because we are going to
Please,
take
yeah.
a lot of
Guys,
questions here, and
we take.
and
Is there
and
any way, Rahul? Is there any way that we only take questions of our subscribers? Is that possible? To know if he's a subscriber and only take his question. Those that don't subscribe, we won't take their comments and questions. Is that possible?
Yes, I have, because I can see over 1,000 people are watching us right now, and
Yeah.
630, in fact 530 people have still not subscribed. So I would request those 530 people to please subscribe, and just you know just
Then
be
they
a
are not
part
part
of
of
the
our
Sports
family.
Today family.
Then they are casual guests who come in and go out. I call them guests.
Acha,
They are not family members.
Nikhil, I missed that part of the press conference. I think that must have been towards the later stages of the press conference. Was there something asked on Hardik Pandya, and what was the response?
Yes, very interesting. Thanks for leading me into it. So there was quite a bit of a debate about Hardik Pandya. So it was asked that why doesn't Hardik Pandya go and play Ranji Trophy? Why is he not playing Ranji Trophy? So to which Chetan Sharma said that, see, that's a question that you can ask only Hardik, only he can answer it. But we look at domestic performances as well. So he's saying if a player is not fit to play Ranji Trophy, or if he's not fit, that's his call. We as national selectors cannot tell, yeah. But what is in our hand is to judge players based on performances, and we will look at Ranji performances before we decide who to pick or not. So he said. Then there was another follow-up question on Hardik Pandya, where there was a fellow reporter who both you and I know from a different organization. He was quite aggressive in his questioning, and he said that but Chetan sir, ये हार्दिक के साथ ऐसा क्यों है कि जब Ranji Trophy he does not play, but come I know, but he will play the IPL. He'll be available for the first match of the IPL. He'll do very well, and then you will pick him in the Indian team. Chetan Sharma actually got a bit irked with that question. He said, firstly, you are not a selector. We are the selectors. How are you assuming that we will pick him into the team based on IPL performances or whatever? First thing that he said, I am chairman of selector. I'm sitting, and in the room that I'm sitting, there are 4 other selectors. So you are actually demeaning us by already saying that we will do it. So that is our prerogative. We will decide who is to be picked or not. And if Hardik is playing Ranji or not, that is something which is a state board versus their player connection. So he said, you may have a number of Hardik. Please pick up the phone and call him why he's not playing, and maybe he can answer. So that is what he spoke about Hardik Pandya. He went on to add also that's Chetan Sharma, where he said that you also need to respect the player. He says you cannot forget Hardik is not an ordinary player. He's been a match winner for India. He's achieved a lot, and so you have to be careful when you talk about player. It's not one youngster, who's a newbie who's not playing or whatever. So he said you have to be careful about that. So please take into consideration the things that he's also done for the Indian team. So that was the bit about Hardik Pandya he had mentioned.
Prasiddh Krishna, in fact, a lot of people, I'll just take those names. Deep Nandi also asked about Hardik. Deep, Nikhil was just telling you or us about what exactly was asked and what exactly was the response. Rahul Chaturvedi also, Hardik Pandya. In fact, Ujjwal is asking Prasiddh Krishna.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised with Prasiddh Krishna not being there.
So
I don't know
comes in.
Yeah,
Prasiddh Krishna is out.
No, he was outstanding, but I don't know why they're looking at Prasiddh Krishna as an ODI player only at the moment. Is that the feeling that you're getting? Because when we saw him being announced in the team also, he was selected for the West Indies ODI and not T20s initially. So I don't know whether they're looking at him as a ODI option. Also, I don't know, because they have too many options. They are looking at not looking at him at the moment. I don't know whether that is the bit. That could be. Shobham says, how do you see the stability in selection of T20 as whom do you select between Jadeja and Venkatesh Iyer in the T20 playing 11? But I think Venkatesh Iyer and Jadeja offer you 2 different things. And there is a possibility both might play. One is a fast bowling all-rounder, more of a batting all-rounder. The other is a pure all-rounder. He can play either as a batsman or even as a bowler. There was a time that Jadeja was only a bowling all-rounder, but I think his batting has really improved the last couple of years. So he's a pure all-rounder. I think both can be played, isn't it? Both can be. And it's great news. I don't know about you, Rahul, but I think Jadeja being fit, now being available, I think it's great news for Indian cricket.
Right. In fact, they both can chip in. In fact, Rohit can get 4 overs out of these, both of them. Venkatesh Iyer and Ravindra Jadeja. Of course, Jadeja is good enough to bowl those 4 overs himself alone. But you can still, as you said, both of them can feature in the 11.
What do you make of Virat Kohli resting now? We know that Virat has been given a rest, and again, I'm not saying because we mentioned it on Sports Today, but we were the first ones to tell you that Virat Kohli will rest in the coming T20Is versus Sri Lanka. I think it's happened a game before we thought, but I think that's only happened because India won this T20I series and they thought that the job is done, so maybe he can start the rest a game before. Otherwise, he would have rested for the Sri Lanka T20I series anyway, which we had reported on Sports Today. And we also, if you remember, last 3-4 days had been talking about maybe it's right time for Rishabh also to rest because he's been playing non-stop cricket.
Yes.
It'll do him good. And both those things have happened. I wonder whether the decision makers are watching Sports Today at a daily basis.
And if this was Rishabh's choice to take some rest, it came at a good time. Even if he was
Yeah.
rested, it came good for at a good time for him because he scored a match-winning 52 not out in the last
Yeah.
game. Now he can just peacefully move out of that bubble of that and take that so-called bubble break and just take
Yeah.
some rest, take some time off. And same is the case with Virat also. In fact, he also scored a match winning 52 in that last game. And we've been see it's a strange word for past few weeks we've been saying that Virat needs some rest, Virat needs some rest, Virat needs some rest. Now that he's been rested, or rather he has taken some time off, a lot of people would question, maybe you and me would question, why did Virat take rest? I think he needed this rest.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think he's the one who's told the selectors as well that give them rest. So I'm just trying to take a few comments also. Palash Swami's comment I want to take, but it's not coming. But I'll just say it. He's saying to the guy, please, who haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe to this channel. Palash Swami is saying, because these guys work so hard and provide us with some awesome content. Palash, आपके मुंह में घी शक्कर. You are a true family member.
Thank you so much, yaar Palash.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making
If
our
you're
job easier.
Yeah, if you're not don't want to listen to us, please at least listen to Palash, who's got an awesome message for you guys. So um so what should we do? Should we wrap up, Rahul? And because you need to
And
coordinate
let's check
with
with Mr. Gavaskar.
Sunny Bhai. Yeah. So guys, if you are with us, just be maybe in another 10 minutes or so, we'll go live with Sunny Gavaskar. We'll try. Hopefully, I'll put the update on the channel as a
Okay,
upcoming. If it's possible,
should
then
we
we go
keep it?
live.
Should we keep it at 5:30? That's
No,
a
the earlier the better.
or
5:15. Let's aim at 5:15. Still 10 minutes to go.
no, but
If he's
he should
if
be
he's
away.
not,
He
then you
should
tell
also be
me.
available.
Then no. So what I'll do is I'll put a post out on our channel exactly confirming the time so everyone can see it, and that live stream will have a time. So
Yes, I
or
think I
Rahul,
think we
Rahul,
can. Yeah.
you can do one thing. You can should you have this link? Okay, send it to Sunny Bhai. This link that we are on right now. Send this link to Sunny Bhai
Mhm.
if you can, and you can exit for like 2 minutes. I'll be on the chat. If Sunny Bhai joins us now, let's just do it now. Is that an idea? Can we attempt
We
it?
can do that, but we can do
I
that,
think
Nikhil.
he's
But
on
I
meeting
think it
later.
would be better if we start afresh.
Okay, chalo. Let's start afresh in another 5-7
है ना?
minutes, hopefully, or
Let
10
me,
minutes.
because I think
5:15.
I can just ask. I'll just ask him. I'll just ask him.
Okay.
Okay.
See you
I,
guys. We're ending this stream. We may be back now very shortly. So stay on the channel. I'll put a live stream. Maybe be live with Sunny Gavaskar. We'll join you then. See you. Bye. Sorry.